Welcome back here on TSL today. It's a Friday. Giovanni Heater joined alongside Nick Brown with you. Well, before the break, I went ahead and told you about a incredible performance, one of the best in program history out of a single individual on the Virginia Tech women's basketball team. Nick, that individual, Georgia Amoore, records the first triple-double in Virginia Tech women's basketball history. She goes out there, 24 points, 11 assists, 10 rebounds, and when she got that final rebound with about a minute left to go in the ball game, Castle went absolutely ballistic. It was in front of the largest student crowd in the Kenny Brooks era at Castle Coliseum. What a night, what a performance, a whole lot of fun, and she did it against a Power 5 opponent as well.
Yeah, Virginia Tech was favored by 15 or 16. I think it's 15. I don't know. One of the two, and they beat them by 31. That's crazy.
And Nebraska was top 25 coming into the season.
Preseason ranked number 23. So this was a good opportunity to play, a team that was top 25, and while Virginia Tech just went to town on them. It was a 10-point game entering the fourth, I want to believe, or 13 or whatever, because they beat them 30-12 in the fourth, which is absurd. And yeah, like you said, Georgia Amoore highlighted it, 24 points. I mean, it's only one assist to her 11, or one turnover to her 11 assists, which is also wild to me. She was 2 assists away from the record in a game, held by Shanette Hicks and Lisa Witherspoon, both very good point guards. And then Kitley, she did her thing, 24 points, 12 rebounds, and she had a
double-double.
Really slow start also, and she finished with 24. I mean, this team is so good. And then, of course, Taylor Soule had her best performance in a Hokies jersey, 18 points, 5 boards with that, and 2 for 2 from the three-point land. She had struggled shooting behind the arc a little bit to start the season, a little timid, but she knocked home 2 wide-open threes that looked really, really good. The only concern, Ashley, well, I guess it was a concern and a good thing. Virginia Tech won by 31 without Kayana Traylor. She was sick for the game. She'll be fine. She'll be back for Tennessee. So she was out. So that was your second leading scorer entering last night.
Yeah.
And then Ashley Owusu, midway through the second quarter or first quarter, one of the two, she left with a hand injury. She is going to a hand specialist today, the day after. Not sure what it is.
From what I heard, it was a cut.
Yeah,
on her hand.
Because it was weird because she went right up to an official and they stopped the game. And Nebraska had the ball. And the only time that the refs will stop a game when you're on defense and you're injured and you're on defense. The only time they will stop it is if you're bleeding because they don't want blood being passed around left and right. And if they see any blood, they stop the game immediately no matter what's going on. So that's the way that happened. I think you're right. But they did still say in the postgame presser she was going to go to a hand specialist, which you worry hopefully isn't anything different. But still without former All-American and your second leading scorer, you 30-piece Power 5 preseason top 25 team. I mean, holy cow.
Yeah.
I think this game proves that Virginia Tech has moved up from the good conversation, like the upper level of college basketball, to the next upper echelon where there is just a select group of 5 to 6 teams. And I think if Virginia Tech rolls into Tennessee, beats Tennessee by 10 plus, they'll be top 5. I really think with this performance, and plus 2 teams in front of them lost. So they're guaranteed to jump up at least 2, but man, this team's good.
They are scary, scary, scary good. Coming up for the Virginia Tech women's side of things, it's Nebraska. Let's take a look at how they stack up in the ACC. Offensively, Virginia Tech is 4th in the conference, averaging 82 points a game. NC State, Florida State, and Notre Dame are ahead of them. Notre Dame averages 87 a game. Virginia Tech is the best defense in the conference, allowing only 46 points per game. And nobody's better than them. So it's incredible to be so high up on the offensive side and number 1 on the defensive side. They also have the largest winning margin. They're winning games by, get this, Nick, an average of 36 points a game. Like, that's unbelievable. They're just blowing everybody out of the water. And they haven't played, they played Kentucky, Missouri, Nebraska, all solid teams that are Power 5. It's just unreal.
Former SEC last year's SEC champs.
Yeah.
Should have beaten them by like 20. had like a 26-point lead, but let Kentucky get into it. Kenny Brooks talked about that, how they allowed Kentucky to make that an interesting game. I think they only won by 10 or 8 or something. And then the next game against Missouri had another big lead, but kept it a little bit in check. They left it around 20 at the 16 range. This game, they were up only 10-13 and then just hit the gas.
Finished
18-0 run. I mean, holy cow. And so there's not much else to say, but this team is darn good. And if you don't go to games, like if you have the chance to go to games, and if you don't go, then you're just missing out on literally one of the best sport teams in Virginia Tech school history.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Let's just very, very briefly, before we end things off on today's show, they got Tennessee next on the road. Then they're on the road in Chestnut Hill against Boston College. Following that, they'll play UNC Asheville at Castle Coliseum. Then they'll play at Notre Dame. Or no, that's going to be a home game against Notre Dame. That is huge. That's 2 top 10 teams in the country. High Point, and then they really get into the ACC schedule with Clemson, North Carolina, Virginia. Circle on your calendars that Notre Dame game, folks. December 18th, 4 o'clock tip inside Castle Coliseum. That is going to be a special one.
Makes me sad that the students won't be here for it, but it'll still be a good crowd. Everybody will know when that's a big game. And if Virginia Tech beats Notre Dame, I mean, right now, Notre Dame and who else lost in front of them in the AC Big Ten Challenge?
UNC lost.
UNC got blown out by Indiana. Indiana really had a field day against North Carolina Big Ten Challenge.
Yeah.
But so Virginia Tech will be the highest ranked, unless they lose to Tennessee. They are guaranteed to be the highest ranked ACC team.
Yeah.
Louisville has 3 losses on the season
Somehow.
and they were preseason picked to be first in the ACC, Tech second. I mean, how many times do you get to say Virginia Tech is going to win the is like the favorites to win the ACC?
Not very often.
Not very often.
Special.
So, I mean, it's, and also another thing, over the broadcast on ESPN2, they were talking about how this team is a legit Final Four contender. What?
Yeah.
That's how. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, like I said, do not miss your chance to come to these games. I mean, yes, Virginia Tech might win by 40, and it might not be the most exciting thing in the world, but still,
you're seeing one of the best teams.
You're seeing literally one of the best teams to ever go through Virginia Tech school.
Awesome. All right, well, that's going to wrap things up today on TSL today. Thanks so much for joining us on your Friday afternoon. Hope you enjoyed on your drive home or wherever you may be listening. We'll see you again on Monday. Enjoy a fantastic weekend of college basketball. The men's team is in action on Sunday at 3 o'clock inside Castle Coliseum against North Carolina. The women's team plays at 1 o'clock on the road in Knoxville against Tennessee. Special weekend for Virginia Tech basketball. For Nick Brown, Kyle Marshak behind the scenes, I'm Giovanni Heater. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you Monday.